It's time for Dads Making a Difference, powered by First Things First. This transformative show will help you learn how to handle the stress of fatherhood, how to better relate to your child, navigate the child support system, and all things that come with being a dad. With your hosts, Reggie Madison and James Frankie Woods.
When people think of a single parent, often they immediately think it's the mom.
Right.
When people think of children living with only one biological parent who is married, often they think it's the mom and a stepdad. When people think of the active parent, right, that shows up at their kids' events, often they think of the mom. When they think of someone initiating the work to make a marriage work and come back from the dead, they think of the wife initiating. We keep telling people this show is about changing the narrative.
There you go.
That's what it's about. There are fathers who have navigated different custody situations, challenges with their child's mothers who have stuck the course, stayed focused, and are watching their children move into adulthood. And that's who we have with us today. We want to welcome Chris Cooper, Chattanooga native, Tyner High School graduate, husband, father, to all of that to the Dads Making a Difference show today. Welcome, my friend. How are you?
Brother.
Glad to be here.
A ram is in the building. Man, oh man.
Your journey's been a little different than a lot of dads, right?
That's correct.
And you've been married for several years with two beautiful kids that you and Chantal are biological parents to. Beautiful teenage girl. Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Well, I got custody. I have two sons, 23 and 21, and I got custody of them when they were 6 and 4. So it's a little bit reverse of what people are used to or accustomed to seeing. You know, I even went to court one time, and they sat me on the wrong side because they so used to the man being the person getting sued versus the person trying to get money. But you know, I raised them until I met my wife, did it alone. So we, like I said, age 4 and 6, not 23 and 21. So I got to see both sides of child support. You know, and I saw the women and men weren't treated the same when they were the defendant.
Yeah.
So I learned that. So that's why I try to help any way I can.
So walk us through. Did you start out like when they were born? You took custody when? At what age?
They was 6 and 4. So I put myself up. I put myself up for child support when my son was born because I didn't want no problems. I'd already saw how friends and family were getting back pay and all this stuff. I'm like, nope. And I was working at Little Debbie at the time. I went straight down there, said I get paid every week, take it out. And they just took it out. I ain't want no problems. So, and they told me I had to sue her to get my money back when they were still taking it after I got custody on my boys. So, yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
I'm like, nah.
Man.
And so why did you end up getting custody? Like what changed?
Just, I just had a better situation versus, you know, mom had a lot of things going on in her home that wasn't good for young males, period. So I went and filed, you know, the paperwork to get them, and the judge agreed. So they've been with me ever since.
And what was your mindset like? Like,
man,
you all of a sudden you got boys.
Right.
That, you know, what was your mindset?
I was scared, man. I was 23, 24 years old, single dad. Like, you go 1 bedroom, little bachelor pad, you know. I just do my own thing, and now you got 2 people looking at you all the time, like, you know, and you the example for them. Got to be careful of what you do and, you know, get them in school and all this other stuff. So, you know, it was just a totally different change. So, but it changed me for the better, so I ain't even mad about it.
Gotcha. So what was easy and what was hard out of that situation?
None of it was easy. All of it was hard. You know, having to go from a 1-bedroom apartment to multiple bedrooms, getting them in school. Even the schools gave me a hard time because they not used to seeing a father, you know, come in and do this paperwork. Or if I went to pick them up, are you on the paperwork? I'm like, I'm the custodial parent. I'm here to. So I just had it. It was like every organization was against you because they were so used to seeing the mom doing all that instead of a dad holding that down. So it was always a uphill battle. And I think people with less or shorter fuse than me probably would have had some problems because I just fight them with paperwork.
Right.
So, but a lot of
Right.
people, a lot of people don't take that avenue. But that's how I get them.
Good stuff, man.
So how was the relationship between you and the sons?
Oh man, them my boys, man.
Yeah.
So it's still the same now. It's still the same now as it was then. Them my guys, and I always try to lead by example from birth. So I know when you have a difficult problem in math, the example helps you. Why can't life be the same? And I still to this day try to show them, and they men. This is how you do this, and this is how you don't do that. Because you're never too old to learn. You're never too old to teach. So that's just, I try to lead by example.
Oh man, good stuff, bro.
Y'all got me preaching in here.
Yeah, right.
It ain't even Sunday.
I understand.
It ain't even Sunday.
So what have you learned about your impact of their well-being? What have Chris learned?
Well, their friends, believe it or not, taught me more about what I was doing than them. And sometimes they friends started coming over talking to me. Hey, what would you do with this? What would you do with that? Or can we stay over here and go with y'all, Six Flags or wherever you're doing, because they just saw a positive male role model that looked like them that they wasn't really used to seeing around here as much. But I just knew I was doing something right when they're friends, man. You lucky. They tell my son, you lucky. Wow. He like, why? Man, you got a pops that's involved or taking you places and, doing these things. And I'm like, they play online gaming all the time, and they friends will hear me in the background. Who are that? Man, that's my pops.
Right.
Like, for real? Like, yeah. And that just makes me happy, man, because I didn't have that.
Right.
I met my pops, 3-4 years ago, and then he passed away due to COVID. So I didn't have that.
Right.
I didn't have it at all.
So you were just being you.
I'm on autopilot right now.
Right.
I'm just trying to do what I feel is right. So we all make mistakes and learn from them, but I'm just doing what I feel is right. I don't try to give them what I had, what I didn't have. I try to give them what I had because I feel I turned out all right.
Right.
He just dropped a nugget.
Man,
He did.
Hey.
I like that.
Yeah, I don't
that.
worry about what I don't have. So I don't try to get what I don't have. I give him what I do have.
Ooh.
Man, I had to repeat it because I need everybody to catch that.
Man,
It's
oh,
true.
man.
'Cause I turned out all right with my mom and my uncles and everything teaching me what they knew. I turned out all right.
And so I'm what I hear you saying is you were just being you.
Right.
Yeah.
And your son's friends are the ones that kind of let you know, oh, man, you doing all right, Pops.
Yeah. Man, some of them call me Pops. I'll message them sometime, birthdays or just out of the blue. You good, bro? How you doing? Because I know some of them don't have fathers or uncles and stuff, too. So sometimes just having a male presence, man, just checking on you, it's not a bad thing. So they all my Facebook friends and everything. Just check on them.
See, dads just, I don't want to sound like I'm speaking against moms. Dads, when dads are kind of secure in who they are,
Right.
often they bring just this chill element.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what it sounds like you brought, just this chill element that, your kids can be, your boys, they playing video games. You chilling, you probably, if I know you probably back there cracking jokes on.
Man, my wife she be looking at me side-eyed 4 o'clock in the morning because I wake up singing and cracking jokes. She like, it's 4 o'clock, babe. I'm like, hey, I'm on 100 all day. You see me at 4, you see me at 12. I'm the same. He'll tell you.
I ain't gonna even say it.
He'll tell you.
I understand.
But that's me all day. But that's just how I am. Just only can be me.
Man. Oh man. So this is my question to you, man. As the adult, you look back and see some of the most significant influences that you have. What caused you to be a better father?
That I have or that I had?
That you had.
Just honestly, I saw what made me want to be a better father was just seeing a couple of my friends that just had, that dad in their life. And I'm like, man, that's what I'm missing. So if I ever get the chance to do that, I'm going to do that. Because you know, in my neighborhood, there's probably 3 or 4 dads in the house, man. And my neighborhood was big, and we had 3 or 4, and those dads was just like I am today to my son's friends. We can go over there, eat, you know what I mean, play the game. They ain't even have to be there. Just drop in and, you know, eat, chill, talk to them, whatever. That's just how it should be, man. It don't have to necessarily be your dad. It's still a dad. He still has the same tools.
Right.
Why do you think that male presence, that father figure presence is so important?
Man, we all, both sides, you get something from both sides. And I just mentioned the other day, like, the male figures in my life taught me how to handle my emotions. And a lot of these guys don't know how to handle their emotions. And we see it when I was working at the police department. It was just split-second decisions. Right. They didn't know how to deal with those situations, or they didn't see a male presence showing them how to deal with it. And they just fly off the handle over something that you could shake hands and move on. And it didn't even have to be what it ended up being. Right. So, and I think that's something that a dad, you know, and then some of them just that discipline, but everybody just got to find their role.
Right.
Because in my family, the wife is the discipline. I'm laid back. I'm over in the corner chuckling. She the one holding it down on that aspect. But once you figure your role out and your dynamic, you good to go. But you just need both sides. You need the foundation and the house.
So you just said something. How have you and your wife worked together? Because, I mean, think about it. Y'all share one.
Right.
And then you brought 2.
Right.
And so how did that parenting dynamic work so that y'all could make it work? You know, between with your daughter and, I mean, how old were the boys when y'all got married?
They was 10 and 8, around in there. But we just had to learn ourselves and how we were, because we both came from different backgrounds and dynamics. So, you know, how we did finances, we different on. How we wanted to discipline, we different on. You know, and so we just had to come to a common ground and see because each kid is different. You might can yell at one of them, and the other 2 might not. That might not work for them. Mm-hmm. So you can't do everything the same with each child. So it's almost like they all have a different learning plan or what have you. Because my baby boy, you take his PlayStation or whatever, he didn't care. He just sit in the room. He just sit in the room, look at the wall. I'm fix y'all. You know, my daughter, you take her phone, she gonna lose it. So you just really have to know. Cause my wife tried that once, it didn't work. I'm gonna take your phone, whatever. My son was like, okay.
Right.
It didn't bother him at all. Right. Not one bit.
You answer so many questions, man. Sometimes I have to go off the head, but I want to ask you this. You're getting close to an empty nest home. How are you preparing your kids for that adult life?
Bro, 976 days, man. I'm trying to tell y'all. I got an app on my phone. It's countdown.
I told y'all.
Hey, you listen to me.
Wait a minute.
Hey,
I told y'all.
Look it up. Google it. That's her birthday. Her 18th birthday, man. I'm counting it.
976.
Hey, her birthday last year.
Okay.
I text her because I go to work at 4 in the morning. So right. I text her 4 in the morning. It was like 1,300 blah blah, and she was like, "What is that?" I said, "That's days till you 18." She was like, "Pops, come on." Man. I'm like, "Baby girl, I'm ready."
Right.
But you know, I love my babies, man. But it's just a running joke in my house because my wife like, she can live here. She gonna be here with us till forever. I'm like, no. I said, I'll be 40. I'll be 46 with 3 adult kids. They gotta go.
Right.
So I can start living my life.
Come on.
Because I'm living for them right now.
Right.
Making sure they good.
Understood.
I'm like, hey, I'm still less than 50. I'm traveling. I'm gonna, it's time. It's time. But yeah, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do, man. But your kids always your kids, man.
Right.
And my mom, I'm still her baby. 42 years old. You never stop.
Man.
So you never stop being a parent. That's to the end.
Before we talk about your enrollment in the community, what are your older boys doing now? Are they in school? Are they working?
One of them don't even leave the house right now, man. I honestly think COVID scared him a little bit, man. And he seen people with my father passing away, a couple family members passing away. He just he was working with he was working with this moving company in Lookout Valley. My other son at Volkswagen. So they good young men. Stay out of the way. You don't hear nothing about them. They respectful. So they try to do They try to do well. They still at that age trying to navigate where they want to go in life, man. And, you know, some people try to gear you towards college. I'm like, you can go to trade school and still do well, son. I'm like, most people that we went to school with still in debt that went to college. They ain't even benefiting from that income that they went to school to get. But the guy that went to be an electrician, what he doing?
He making a killing. He ain't got no debt.
He doing all right, debt free.
Good money.
And, you know, we went to school with a guy that work on cars.
Right.
He ain't got no debt.
Nope.
Not to no schools. He doing his thing.
And
so
he got a thriving business right now.
Yeah. Man, he booked out probably June.
Shout out to Demetrius Rawls, man.
Facts.
Shout out to Demetrius Rawls.
I hit him up in October. Like he was like, I'm booked till like February.
I hit him up last night.
Yeah, he
last night. He said he booked to May.
Yeah, he locked in. That's when you know you're doing a good job if people coming to you.
Reggie got a question for you that I've been dying to hear.
Well, I'm ready.
Before the 5, I've been dying to hear this answer. Could you please ask me, Reggie?
See, all right. So if you know Chris, if you ever on Facebook with Chris, you know he got a lot to say.
He got a lot to say.
All the time, man.
A lot.
All the time.
What's the message that you want to put out to the world?
Man, I don't think we got enough time.
See?
But man, I put it on my Facebook today, man. I just put on there. I did a little research on dads and stuff, and it was it's like 2.7 million single dads in the U.S. right now. And I'm like, we need to be more involved. It said 48% of kids don't have a father in their life. That's unacceptable. But it doesn't even have to be your biological father. We as men in the black community can step up and do better as well. That's why I try to, did a little bit with Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Tennessee Achieves, helping kids get in, their stuff done for college. Just, man, a lot of this stuff take like an hour a week, 2 hours a week.
Right.
Man, I blow that playing Call of Duty. You know what I mean? I can get that 2 hours to help a kid get into school or stay out the streets or anything. I mean, what's an hour? What if everyone gave an hour?
Nugget.
So that's what got you. I was always curious because
Right.
you in the community a good bit.
Oh, man, I try, man. I got emails. I'm about to get on some people's nerves today. If they don't follow up, I make a note to follow up with them. Like, hey, we talked on this date. We trying to get some things happening, man. I'm like, I ain't even got to be involved. I could just be a bridge to the community.
Exactly.
So what do you see as your role in the community? Like, it's not, obviously you're not a my foe and no more kind of guy. Right? And so what are you noticing of the impact that you can have? What's your role and what's your impact?
I don't even have a title, man. I just get involved any way I can. Like I said, I started a neighborhood watch in Lookout Valley. They didn't have anything going on. And I thought about that because my time at PD, I had relationships with people that work there that can share information with me that I could give to the community as well. It's a lot of elderly people out there. I just post stuff all the time. Change your fire alarm batteries. Because we lost our house when I was a kid. Everything. And starting over in your 50s and 60s, that ain't, even in your 20s, that's not an easy thing. So just anything that I don't think people know that's just readily available information, I try to throw it out there.
You're big on community, too, and bringing dads together. Like, so for those that don't know, we have a Dads Make a Difference leadership team. And of alumni guys that come back. But one of the things you always, talk about is how guys don't need to be alone.
Nah, man.
Share a little bit about that.
I just spoke on that the other day, man, because I'll sit back and think, like, I look out for everybody so much, I forget to look out for me.
Yeah.
And as a dad, it's real easy to do that. Try to make sure my wife good, my kids good. Man, I'll go home working all day, 5 p.m., and I'm sweeping and all this, and my wife like, sit down. I'm like, nah, I got this. I want you to sit down.
Right.
My son, sometimes if he taking too long to come get this trash, I let my man go. He shoot a couple more games, I'll take it out. But just everyone helped out, man. Everyone's life would be a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
That's my goal. I don't even know if I don't know what my purpose is, man, but just to be cool. I talked to, Andre yesterday about, man, he asked me what my grill was doing. I'm like, man.
Right.
Well, people don't know.
Yeah.
My man, he is a grill master.
When
Like,
I
there's
say-
a whole lot of grill master wannabes.
Right.
Oh, no.
Advocate grilling.
Yes.
Advocate grill.
We're gonna be at Chat State this fall teaching grilling 101. Come through. But yeah, man, I just want to help anybody any way I can.
So it sounds like when people, dads carry burdens. Like, people don't realize when you a man of a house, like, there's a burden to make sure that everybody's got what they need.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes you spend so much time and so much energy trying to make sure that your wife is taken care of, the kids are taken care of, whatever, that you don't stop and take care of your own self and make sure and not let the burden kind of weigh you down.
Well,
Right.
I saw my uncles fight that fight, man. I had a couple uncles. That's all they did. They looked out for everybody, made sure the wives got to the hospital, the kids and stuff, and then they never went. They never got checked up. And one of them, man, when he went, he had stage 4 cancer. They basically like, y'all come see him. There's nothing we can do.
Oh, man.
Wow.
And within a couple of days, he was gone. And I'm like, nope. So I go in the beginning of the year, I get everything checked out.
Right.
Trying to tell you. I'm like, and my son like, why, Pops? So I'm like, if I go every January and they find something, they know it's been within these 12 months. So they know what we working with. I'm like, I'm going to go. It's free. Why not go get checked out? So,
Gotcha.
and my wife, you know what she going through. If I wouldn't have kept encouraging her to go, she would have never known.
Yeah.
Right.
She said all the time, I'm like, hey, it's free. It's covered. Why not go and make sure you good? You take your car to get checked out.
Yeah.
You get your air conditioner serviced every year. What about you?
See, that's that common sense stuff. That,
Come
you know
on.
what I'm saying? That logical you don't take no masters or PhD to know some of this stuff.
It really don't. And before we get into these 5 questions, man, I always like to personally give people their flowers. And today, I want to give you your flowers. Because I saw your post on Facebook, but I know I can talk to Chris.
Oh, no doubt.
I know I can call Chris.
No doubt.
But just know this, I'm proud of you.
Man, I appreciate it.
I'm
brother.
so proud of you because you know my story. You just seen me for years, and you know where I come from, being a knucklehead to being a guy who can
Used to
sit
be a
here, to be a guy who can sit here and have a sensible conversation and be respected about it. You know what I mean? A lot of people put me down and they never think I would amount to where I am today. So, but today is about Chris Cooper.
Hey, I appreciate it.
So I want to say thank you. Keep grinding, and you motivate me more than what you
I
know.
have to, man. But growth never stops.
Yes, sir.
You got to just keep feeding it.
Gotcha.
So we ask 5 questions to every dad.
All right.
All right. The first one, what makes dads irreplaceable?
It's just we've lived it, what they're about to go through, man. I tell my kids all the time, like, to me, the best people that can help you facilitate rehab is somebody that's been through the addiction you're dealing with.
Yeah.
You went to school to tell me how to deal with it? Nah, you ain't live it. I want to talk to someone that's been through what I'm going through. Moms are great, but they teach you from their perspective. Your perspective may be different. I mean, mine and his perspective is different. So we may see one thing and see it totally different because our perspective different.
Right.
So why not? I mean, my sons look at me, I'm like, yeah, I dealt with that already. So you don't have to.
Right.
And if you do, that's on you because I told you about it. So
Ooh.
that's my thing. So don't come calling Pops if I already we done touched on this.
Man,
So,
oh man. So what is the funniest, craziest, positive, outrageous thing you've ever seen or done with your dad, uncle, or father figure, or with a teenage child or a children of your child?
man, I tell you what my son did to me, man. Him and his friend about killed me, brother. We all went to Pigeon Forge up that way, and my son, he don't like scary stuff, man. He ain't about that. So we went in a scary house because my daughter wanted to go. So my wife and daughter behind us, and me and my son and his friend walking down the hall. I'm in the middle. Oh boy, come out with a chainsaw. Next thing I know, I'm bouncing off the wall. They done knocked me, man, and I'm bouncing like a pinball machine all off the wall, man. But none of us will ever forget it because we was up there bonding,
Right.
man, and they had never been out to Pigeon Forge, man.
Wow.
where we from, we don't talk about going to Pigeon Forge. I don't know why, because it's wonderful there.
Right.
Everybody talking about Atlanta. I don't get it.
Well,
But
we don't do a lot of camping either. Me and Reggie
Nah, I
was
ain't-
talking. Yeah, we don't do a lot of camping. I'm sorry.
no,
Had he even used a chainsaw before in his life?
nah, neither have I, man. My wife just started getting me tools recently, man. Because I'm not a hands-on type of guy.
Me either, bro.
I'm a pay a dude type of guy. But when I bought a house, I'm like, nah. I started seeing these prices, man. I'm like, no, sir, I ain't gonna pay you this much money to put a grill together. Nope, I'll figure it out. YouTube, that's it. YouTube.
Oh man, what advice would you give your younger self?
Honestly, I would have done my education differently, and even starting back in high school, because I know a lot of cats was in trades and stuff in high school. I didn't, because I was like, man, I'm going to college. I ain't even working in the field I went to college for, and I'm thinking probably about 70-80% of people not.
That's real.
I went for computer science at first, and I'm like, I'm working at the schools, dispatching. Nothing wrong with dispatching, but that's not what I sitting at 18 thinking that's what I'm going to be doing. So I would have went to trade school, you know what I mean? And I would have probably just made different choices with my sons growing up as far as their schooling and stuff like that, and the impact that education has on you. Because, I mean, our brown boys are the most people that have struggles with reading, too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's why I read it all the time. I want my kids to see me reading so they don't feel out of place when they reading. I got 2 books with me right now.
I saw
always
you.
reading, right.
He was reading. So this is the last question I'm going to ask you. If you could take your teenage son or daughter anywhere or provide them with any experience, what would that be?
It'd be my baby girl, man. She draws anime. She loves anime, and that's her thing. And she want to go to Japan. And I want to be that person to take her and go with her. My wife, she don't want to fly. And I'm like, how y'all going to get there? That's a long boat ride to go to Japan. But I would love to take my wife to Paris, but I would love to take my daughter to Japan so she could see where, the anime, I mean, you think it's crazy over here.
Right.
Over there, it's a whole different level. So that would be, but I would take everyone, but she would be the one that would get the most out of it, because she's pretty good at drawing, man, and that's not even her number one talent. But I'm going to support all of them no matter what they want to do.
Wow.
Man, Chris, it's refreshing to just hear a dad that likes being dad. You know what I'm saying? He enjoys being dad.
Love it.
He breathes it, he lives it, and so as a result, he shares it, he does it, and other people get to experience it. It encourages me, it motivates me, and it makes me stay on top of my game, because I see how much you love your family.
Definitely.
Iron sharpen iron, man.
Yeah, man, let's keep sharpening each other.
sharpening.
Sure. Thanks for coming on with us today.
Anytime.
Anytime.
Just and keep being that dad that makes a difference.
No doubt.
Y'all take care.
Love you.
You've been listening to Dads Making a Difference, powered by First Things First. Join us for our next episode right here.